Good evening, and welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club's Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. My name is Russ, and my call is KD8VYT. But for this presentation of Newsline, I will be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. Without further ado, this is Amateur Radio Newsline.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2518 with a release date of Friday, January 30th, 2026. To follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. A ham radio business owner dies in a plane crash in Australia. Radio Adventure gets the spotlight at this year's Hamvention, and meet a growing herd of Soda Mountain goats. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2518 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. And now reporting from Valparaiso, Indiana, here's Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
As Newsline went to production, we learned of the sudden death of Elwood Downey, WB0OEW, the developer and creator of the popular open-source ham clock software. The popular Linux-based digital information display has been a mainstay in many amateur radio shacks where hams have eagerly awaited updates and new versions. The revelation that Elwood had become a silent key on Thursday, the 29th of January, was accompanied by a message on his ClearSkyInstitute.com website. It announced his death, adding that the final release of ham clock is version 4.22. All ham clocks are to stop functioning in June of this year. In a separate posting on Facebook, Bruce Kempf, KC3JS, announced that he was halting all sales of turnkey ham clocks until there is a functioning replacement. He asked for fellow ham clock enthusiasts to help find a means to get a functioning server and edit the code to allow this to work. The pilot of a private plane that crashed north of Australia's Gold Coast has been identified as an amateur radio operator and successful businessman. He was well known for the ham radio equipment business he built decades earlier from a garage-based operation. We hear about him from Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
The single-engine plane had just taken off from a private airstrip on Tuesday, January 27, when it came down, killing the pilot and his passenger at the scene. The pilot was identified as Greg Ackman, VK4BBX, owner of Mobile One Australia. Various news reports describe him as an experienced aviator. His passenger was said to be from Sydney. According to media reports, the two were on their way to New South Wales. Greg designed much of the amateur equipment sold by the company he founded. A ham since 2021, he was a visible presence at amateur radio events throughout Australia. At the time Newsline went to production, investigators were still trying to determine the cause of the crash. Greg was 73. Valet Greg Ackman.
Do you want to come visit Pluto? Well, it doesn't involve space travel. It just means that you're committed to helping mark yet another anniversary of its discovery by the uncle of one of the special event operators. Randy Sly, W4XJ, tells us what we need to know.
Amateur radio operators will be on the air as Whiskey 7 Papa from February 14th through the 22nd to celebrate the 96th anniversary of the discovery of Pluto and to continue the countdown to the 100th anniversary in 2030. This year, the event sponsors are hoping to have a number of visiting operators join the fun. Bob Wirtz, NF7E, told AR Newsline, quote, "The Northern Arizona DX Association invites out-of-state ham radio clubs and operators to join us as guest operators for the Whiskey 7 Papa Pluto Discovery Anniversary Special Event, operating from the very place where Pluto was discovered in 1930, the Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona. Visiting hams will need to contact Bob ahead of time to be placed on the schedule." In addition to operations at the observatory, Doug Tombaugh, N3PDT, nephew of astronomer Clyde Tombaugh, who discovered Pluto in 1930, will lead a team of operators as Whiskey 7 Papa Stroke 0. Doug said that he especially enjoys making contact with other amateurs who knew his uncle or were involved in other activities related to Pluto. For more information, look up Whiskey 7 Papa on QRZ. This is Randy Sly, W4XJ.
For ham radio operators, adventure comes in all forms, whether it means landing on a remote island for a 2-week de-expedition or hiking to activate a summit in a national park. Others simply see adventure in the annual challenge to make that trip to Xenia, Ohio to attend Hamvention. Whatever your personal challenge is, it's in the spotlight this year as Hamvention organizers have just announced that Radio Adventure is the theme for the 3 days from May 15th through to May 17th at the Greene County Fairgrounds. Even if your biggest adventure ends up being your decision on what new rig to take home with you this year, expect the gates to be open, as usual, for a reunion among friends and your ham radio family. It's not time to turn the clocks just yet. Here in the U.S., we take a 1-hour leap forward in a few weeks. It is, however, time to turn back the calendar in just a few days and revisit amateur radio's first voice mode. CellMB KB3TZD has those details.
Long before there was single sideband, there was AM, or amplitude modulation, the only HF voice mode available to previous generations of amateur radio operators. AM operators are still on the air, holding nets and having QSOs, although AM's rich, warm tones are heard less often on the bands these days. That's about to change. From 00 UTC on Saturday, February 7th through 0700 UTC on Monday, February 9th, everyone gets a chance to be part of this annual operating event. Any type of radio equipment will get you in the game as long as it's capable of full carrier amplitude modulation. The action will take place on the 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, 10, and 6-meter amateur radio bands. For details about the different power categories, rig categories, or operating procedures, visit the website amrally.com. If you are a newcomer to operating on AM, there's plenty of information there to help you get started. This is CellMB KB3TZD.
Even as parts of the U.S., including the New England states, were suffering through days of sub-freezing temperatures recently, a dedicated group of park activators in Connecticut had a good warm feeling, and they headed to the park to celebrate by getting on the air. Travis Lisk, N3ILS, tells us more.
If you happen to work WB1CT on the first morning of the new year, you are a part of the inaugural podolog of the Connecticut Parks on the Air Activators Group. The club has been around and growing since its first informal activities in early 2021. Until recently, most of their hunters are more familiar with their previous call sign, K2D, the special event one-by-one call sign it shared with the Connecticut operators in the 13 Colonies event each July. Group Director Conrad Troutman, N2YCH, told Newsline that as the group grew larger and added even more activities, it made sense to become an official nonprofit club, which it did in late 2025. The FCC granted the club call sign shortly afterward. With a special park-to-park net that helps activators get more Connecticut parks in their logs, the club continues to evolve, both in activities and membership. The group has more than 100 POTA activators throughout the state. When they're not on the air, they keep in touch regularly via a groups.io list. Be listening for WB1CT calling CQ POTA, or if you happen to live in Connecticut, join the action. You can find details on the club's page on QRZ.com. This is Travis Lisk, N3ILS.
A noted de-expeditioner and active member of the intrepid DX group has become a silent key. We hear more about him from Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
David Asif III, W5XU, had a long amateur radio life which began when he was still in high school. It gathered momentum and more of a spirit of adventure over time. The de-expeditioner was 71 years old when in 2016 he activated South Sandwich Island with the intrepid DX group as VP8SGI and Thule Island as VP8STI in a place uninhabitable except by penguins. He became a silent key on January 18th, according to his online obituary. David, who discovered ham radio as a high school electronics enthusiast, would go on to a lifetime of other discoveries and many de-expeditions, including Russell Reef as 9M0W and Mellish Reef 9M6ME. An active member of the Baton Rouge Amateur Radio Club, his commitment to helping his Louisiana community spurred him into service by assisting emergency communications during Hurricane Betsy in 1965, an action for which the city of New Orleans honored him. David was 80. This is Stephen Kinford, NAWB.
It's time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the Raleigh Amateur Radio Society's W4DW repeater at 8 p.m. local time on Sundays. A grant from Amateur Radio Digital Communications has helped one club in North Carolina fulfill its dreams of space, satellites, and the ISS. We have that story from Jim Dameron, N8TMW.
An important terrestrial contact made recently by the Raleigh Amateur Radio Society has brought the promise of so many more contacts that can now happen in space. For this club and the youngsters at the Conn Magnet Elementary School, Friday the 30th of January will be remembered as a big day for their scheduled QSO with the International Space Station, a direct contact made via amateur radio. The North Carolina Hams have a long history of answering school and youth group requests to assist with ham radio satellite contacts and even ISS communications. But as club member Carl Davis, W8WZ, told Newsline, it was always challenging to assemble the necessary equipment because to answer each request, members had to dismantle and transport the appropriate radio gear from individual members' own homes. The club reached out successfully to Amateur Radio Digital Communications, which gave them a $14,000 grant and the means to buy portable equipment dedicated for amateur satellite and ARIS contacts, such as the late January QSO under the direction of John Breyer, K4EB. Carl said that while the new equipment will help inspire the next generation to explore the power of amateur radio, it will also enable more club members to train to assist with the ARIS contacts. Within the club itself, more members will also learn to become skilled satellite operators. This is Jim Dameron, N8TMW.
All eyes, it seems, are on the Artemis II moon rocket since its recent rollout onto the launch pad at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. From high above the Earth, though, another pair of eyes and the lens of a camera have been watching, too, as we hear from Jack Parker, W8ISH.
From his front row seat aboard the International Space Station, NASA astronaut Chris Williams, KJ5GEW, got the best view of all of the Artemis II as it awaits its crew of 4. Chris was able to capture the image on camera. He posted it on the social media site X on Monday the 19th of January. Alongside the image, he wrote, quote, "If you zoom in on the rightmost launch pad, you can see a shadow just to the left of the center of the pad. That shadow is from the rocket and launch tower that will soon take 4 of my friends on a trip around the moon," end quote. They're not just his friends and fellow astronauts. Just like Chris, 3 of them have their ham radio licenses. Commander Reed Weissman, KF5LKT, pilot Victor Glover, KI5BKC, and mission specialist Jeremy Hansen, KF5LKU. The 4th crew member is mission specialist Krista Cook. The crew's launch toward the moon could come as early as February. Though Chris is scheduled to stay aboard the ISS for a few more months, once Artemis is launched, the crew won't be coming by for their close-up. The journey is expected to last 10 days before it splashes down in the Pacific Ocean. This is Jack Parker, W8ISH.
In the world of DX, 5 operators will be active during the AU-7RS DXpedition to Agati, IOTA number AS011 in the Lakshadweep Islands. The activation is scheduled for the 8th through to the 14th of February. be listening on 160 through 6 meters, where they will be using CW, single sideband, and FT8. They will also operate via the QO100 satellite. Andre, PD1DRE, is using the call sign PJ2/PD1DRE from Curacao, IOTA number SA099, until the 4th of March. He is calling QRZ on single sideband and FT8 or FT4. In Placencia, Belize, listen for Walt W0CP using the call sign V31DJ, operating CW and single sideband. His wife, Mary, K0Z Victor, will be using the call sign V31DK, operating FT8 and FT4. They will be on the air from the 1st through to the 27th of February. John, W5JON, is active with the call sign V47JA from St. Kitts, IOTA number NA104, through to the 3rd of February. He is operating single sideband and FT8 on various bands. For all these contacts, see QRZ.com for QSL information. People who are familiar with goats will tell you that they are strongly associated with courage, resilience, and tenacity. Families of goats are almost always close-knit, social, and very supportive of one another. So what do goat families have to do with Washington State's Henderson family? Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, is here to explain it in our final story for the week.
In early January, 14-year-old Niels Henderson became the youngest mountain goat in the U.S. in the Summits on the Air Awards scheme. He did it barely 1 month after his 16-year-old brother, Soren, KK7UKE, set the same record on a snowy summit this past Christmas Day. Their mother, Corinne, KK7ULL, was the first in the family to ascend to mountain goat heights. She achieved that status this past October after 13 months of steady SOTA activations. With 1,000 points needed to classify a SOTA activator as a mountain goat, that means a total of 3,000 points between Proud Mom and her 2 sons. Corinne told Newsline that the family decided in 2024 that amateur radio would be great to have along on their adventures as avid hikers. And so they went for it, joining her husband Jason, KC7EPG, who has been licensed since his teens. Jason had convinced them that amateur radio would add another measure of security when they were hiking in areas with poor cell service. Then, members of their ham radio club suggested that the family start activating summits. She and Jason were hooked. Corinne said that work commitments recently slowed Jason's climb to join his goat family at the top, but he's getting there. With Jason needing only 80 more points, she said that before too long, quote, "We'll be our own little SOTA mountain goat herd," end quote. No doubt the Hendersons will be one herd who's definitely being heard. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
Are you ready to write a ham radio haiku? Well, it's easy. Even if you've never written a single line of poetry in your life, visit our website at arnewsline.org, and as you compose your ode to your favorite on-the-air activity, we will help you use the correct number of syllables to make an authentic haiku. Submit your work, and then sit back and wait to hear whether your inspired haiku will be highlighted on our website, where everyone can read it. With thanks to Angela, N3RB, Amateur Radio Daily, Australian Broadcasting Corp., Brisbane Times, Carl Davis, W8WZ, Conrad Troutman, N2YCH, Corinne Henderson, KK7ULL, David Behar, K7DB, the 425DX Bulletin, Hambention, James Gifford, N8KET, Matt, K2EAG, NASA, Northern Arizona DX Association, QRZ.com forums, shortwaveradio.de, space.com, the Wireless Institute of Australia, and you, our listeners. That's all for the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. We wish all our listeners the very best for the year ahead in 2026. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2026. Amateur Radio Newsline retains ownership of its material even when retransmitted elsewhere. All rights are reserved.
This concludes our Monday evening transmission of Amateur Radio Newsline. Net to start in about 8 minutes.
W8VPV. Repeater. PL110.9.
Good evening, calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club Monday night VHF UHF net. My name is John and my call is W03X. However, for the purposes of this net, I'll be using the club call Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor.
W8VPV. Repeater.
This is an open directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in. You do not have to be a club member. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic may break in at any time, please leave a brief pause between transmissions. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information to enhance net operating practices and to keep members up to date about club happenings. This net meets here every Monday evening at 8:30 p.m. local time, preceded by Amateur Radio Newsline at 8:01. We will start with announcements and then ask for check-ins from any officer or member who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Once that is complete, I'll take check-ins, call signs only, 5 at a time, and confirming each call. Then I'll correspond with the 5 check-ins and ask for 5 more until the action slows down, and then I'll go 1 at a time. If you're a regular participant, I'll probably recognize you by call sign. If not, please give your call repeated phonetically, followed by your name and your location. When all check-ins have been worked, I'll close the net after repeating the announcements and then giving one last call for check-ins. We also operate a band expiration net at 9:30 p.m. after this net. Please join us if you have the equipment. Tonight it will be on 6 meters on 50.270 megahertz upper sideband. Okay, so this is, here are the announcements. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor. The next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club will be Wednesday of next week. That's February 11th, and that will be in person at the Pilgrim United Church of Christ in Cuyahoga Falls, which has a listed address of 130 Broad Boulevard. But you get to the meeting by going to their parking lot, which is on 2nd Street just south of Broad Boulevard, and then enter the building where the entrance is just off the corner of the parking lot. Again, it's a 7 p.m. starting time. If you can't attend in person, we will have a Zoom link, and you can be an active participant. We can hear you, you can hear us, and if you have your camera on, we can have you on the screen here at the meeting. So
go to www.cfarc.org. Along the right-hand side of that page, scroll down to February 11th, and there you will see the link for the Zoom version of the meeting. Again, that's February 11th, Wednesday, 7 p.m. at Pilgrim United Church in Cuyahoga Falls in person or on Zoom. Take a look at our webpage there at www.cfarc.org and click on the various things. There are various contests coming up, and so there may be some that you would be interested in participating in, so take a look at that. One of them that I'm interested in is March 7th, the CQ Worldwide 160 meter contest. Okay, I think that's all that I have in a way of announcements. So this is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for any member or officer who has an announcement of general interest to the club. Please call now.
Alpha Charlie 8 X-Ray Oscar.
AC8XO, Vince, go ahead.
Good evening, John, and everybody on the net. It's that time again, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. Do it all over again. Every month I do it all over again. It's time for people to think about newsletter articles. If you haven't submitted anything in the past, now's the time to think about doing it for the future. Other than that, John, that's all I have. AC8XO, back to net.
Okay, Vince, very good. Thanks for that announcement there. And your signal was real good this evening here. I guess the repeater's working pretty good. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club? Please call now.
Whiskey 8, Echo Zulu Tango.
Whiskey 8, Echo Zulu Tango. Go ahead, Frank.
Alrighty, got a couple of announcements here. First one is, unfortunately, not good news. One of our club members, AJ Visarius, W8VPV, has apparently become a silent key. I know nothing beyond that. I received a phone call today from Bruce informing me of that. I would imagine his obituary will be in the paper in the next couple of days, and we'll see. But AJ's been an active club member for the last number of years, and he will be missed. As far as upcoming events, at the meeting coming up that John just announced coming up in February, in addition to other club activities and a survey of what you want, we're going to start out with a program called Give Your HT a Louder Voice. We're going to come up with about 4 or 5 VHF antennas that new hams can make for just a few pennies out of PVC, coax cable, maybe a little bit of copper wire that will greatly improve the output of their radio compared to that rubber ducky. For people who are trying to check in with a rubber ducky and are barely able to get in, this should provide a significant improvement, and we'll have an opportunity to build pick one or more of 4 or 5 different types of antennas. We're still working on the details, but that's what the plan is right now. Let me pause for time. Next thing coming up, we've got a VE session set for Sunday, February 22nd. That's the Sunday after the end of our general class. So if you're looking to see anybody who's wanting to upgrade, either get their technician license or upgrade to general or extra, this would be an opportunity to do it. That's at the Cuyahoga Falls Public Library, again, Sunday, February 22nd. Pre-registration is required, and that's available on our webpage. In early March, early March, we expect to be starting our extra class. This will probably be an 8-week class. We just can't really cover it all in 6 weeks. We're planning the final details now. It will be announced formally as soon as we get everything locked into place, but it will also be a series of Zoom presentations, and we will try to cover the entire extra class pool. So if you're a general looking to upgrade, this might be the thing to do. And then finally, if you have not already and you're a club member, please mark your calendar. Once again, pause for time. Please mark your calendar. Our Hamfest, our annual event, which is our big fundraiser, is set for April 11th. Now that's a Saturday, but we definitely need help, volunteer help Friday, and of course volunteer help Saturday. The March meeting at the church will be talking about that and asking for volunteers to do various tasks, but definitely now free up your calendar. It's a great way to get some great deals on ham gear and Hamfest gear. We've sold out for the last 3 years table-wise, so we have a lot of people attending, and we're already looking at it and lining up vendors and vendor prizes, so it should be a good one this year. Keep it on your calendar. All right, John, that's all I've got. Let me hand it back to you, and please check me in. This is W8EZT. Back to net.
Yeah, W8EZT. Do you know where like a 2025 battery can be bought that has its solder tabs already attached? Over.
2025 or a 2032?
Yeah, either one.
I'll have to look. I might even have one in the refrigerator, but no, I don't know where one could be bought right now. But I can do some looking. I'll try to find out. Let me leave myself a note here. Okay, if I can figure something out, I'll let you know either on the net tonight or after the net.
Yeah, okay. The reason is I didn't measure it yet, but I was thinking of changing the memory battery in this Yaesu FT100D. I'm going to open it up and measure the battery. It may still be good. I've had the radio about 10 years and never changed that battery, but maybe it's still good. So, okay, thanks. I'll proceed with the net here. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor. Are there any other officers or members who have an announcement of general interest to the club? Please call now. Okay, not hearing any. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins. I take 5 at a time and then go back up to the top to talk with the first one there. Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
Kilo Bravo 8, Victor Hotel Kilo, John and Kenmore, in and out.
November 8, Romeo Kilo Echo, Larry, North Royalton.
Okay, I have Kilo Bravo 8 Victor Hotel Kilo in and out, and I have N8RKE. We'll get back with you in a moment. Another check-in, please.
K8PU.
K8PU, I have you on the list, Larry. We'll get back with you. Another check-in, please.
November 8, November Hotel, Mark and Akron, in and out.
I have November 8, November Hotel in and out. Another check-in, please.
W8VPV, this is Kilo Echo 8, Victor, Quebec X-Ray, KE8, VQX, Joe in Akron.
Okay, I got KE8 KVI and he's probably in and out. We'll confirm that. And KE8 UKX. Okay, is KE8 KVI in and out?
That is correct, because I'm boring.
Okay, Ron, thanks. Okay, let's see. I think we have, let's see, 1, 2. We'll take one more check-in.
KE8TQR, Keith in Uniontown.
KE8TQR. Okay, Keith, we'll get back with you in a couple of minutes here. Okay, so that takes us up to N8RKE. Go ahead with your comments. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor with John W8VPV at the mic.
I have nothing to say except good evening, everyone, and I hope everyone has a good night. That's about it. This is N8RKE, and if there's a second round, I will not be here, so I'm kind of one and done. N8RKE.
No, okay, thanks. No, we just do one round on this net here. We do 2 rounds on the N8XPK 6-meter multi-state net on Sunday evenings at 7 on 6 meters, 53.170. Okay, thanks for checking in, 73, and have a good evening. Okay, let's see. So next was K8PU. Go ahead, Larry.
John, everybody on the net, sorry to hear about Silent Key. I have to see the obituary to see who that was. I can't actually place him, but getting a little bit tired of hearing about Silent Keys. We need to go the other direction. But I want to thank Vince again for taking this newsletter on for another year. Appreciate it, buddy. And beyond that, John, I'll catch you on 6 meters, 9:30. So back to you, W8VPV, K8PU.
Thanks, Larry. Yeah, I looked at his QRZ page, and he has a lot of information on there. So he was really active in amateur radio. Compared to me, you know, on QRZ, I don't have anything on the biography, so sorry to see him be gone. Okay, thanks, Larry, and we'll be on 6 meters there. Hope to hear you there. Okay, so N8NH was in and out, and KE8KVI was in and out. So that takes us to KF8VKX. I think I got it right. Go ahead.
W8VPV, this is Kilo Echo 8 Victor Quebec X-Ray. Almost, John. You almost got it. KE8VQX Joe on the west side of Akron. Haven't been here in a while. Seems like I'm always out of town on Monday nights, but just wanted to say hello. Good to hear everybody. Sorry about the silent key. Of course, I didn't know him, but that's never good. Anyway, hope to hear more of you, or hope to be back a little more frequently than I am. So anyway, I'll give it back to you, John. This is KE8VQX, back to W8VPV and net control.
Yeah, okay, Joe. Yeah, I had it written here, but missed the. I couldn't see the bottom part of the E there. Good to hear you, Joe. So thanks for checking in. 73. Have a good evening, and maybe we'll hear you next week. Okay, next is Keith, KE8TQR. Go ahead, Keith.
W8VPV, this is KE8TQR. Good evening, John. Thanks for taking my check-in this evening.
and good evening to everyone else here on the net. Well, it wasn't too bad of a day today. It was still a little cold outside. The only time I went out was to get the mail, then I ran back to the house to get warm. But it does look like by the weekend we might be seeing some warmer temperatures. And by warmer, I only mean up in the upper 20s and maybe low 30s. But it's a lot better than below zero temperatures with wind chill factors. Anyway, it was a lazy day here at the QTH. I didn't get much accomplished. I was down here in the basement most of the day. I cleaned up my workbench over on the other side. I was in here in the shack moving some things around, straightening some things up, and got me a little leftover for dinner, and then it was down here in the shack, made one of the other nets I get on, well, two of the other nets I get on, and I'm on this one, and I will probably be on the 6-meter net later this evening, John, so you can listen for me there. Other than that, I gotta go to the VA tomorrow for my checkup. Yes, sir. They got their pint of blood last week, and now I got the checkup to go with it. So anyway, that's about all I got. Hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Stays warm, stays safe, stays dry, and I hope to hear you all next week. And I'll send this back to you, John. Thanks for running the net. This is KE8TQR 873, and God bless.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. The weather forecast looks like it's going to warm up a little bit, except Saturday morning is going to be pretty cold, and there's a geocaching event down at the Wilderness Center in Wilmot that I'm going to be going to. It doesn't start till 12, but I think I'm going to leave the house early in case there's usually like a backup for some reason down past the Arlington exit. So I'm not sure why that happens, but sometimes it actually comes to a stop. It's a Saturday, so maybe it won't do that. Okay, so I hope to hear you there on 6 meters there, 50.270 megahertz upper sideband. Okay, so that takes us to the bottom of the list. This is Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor asking for check-ins. This is John W3X at the mic.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Echo Papa Bravo.
KF8EPB, I have you on the list. We'll get back with you in a moment. Another check-in, please.
This is KE8ULC, Kurt.
KE8ULC, Kurt. We'll get back with you. Another check-in, please.
Kilo Foxtrot 8 Delta Tango Alpha, Jeff.
KFADTA, I have you on the list. We'll get back with you. Another check-in, please. Okay, not hearing any at this time. We'll go up to Brian, KFADPB. Go ahead, Brian, with your comments.
Whiskey 8 Victor Papa Victor, this is Kilo Foxtrot 8 Echo Papa Bravo. Good evening, everyone on net. I hope everyone's doing good and staying warm. I don't have much tonight. I just wanted to mention that right now the Artemis 2 spacecraft is sitting on the launch pad at NASA. They're doing a wet dress rehearsal, fueling the rocket, unfueling the rocket, doing checks. Hopefully on February 8th, the launch window will open, and it'll be the first time that we send humans into deep space since 1972. I'm looking forward to hopefully watching that, and hope everything goes good. Other than that, it was good to hear a couple of you guys on the N8XPK 6-meter net last night, and hope to talk to you on the 6-meter net tonight. And with that, I'll send it back to John. This is KF8EPB 73.
Okay, Brian, very good. That Artemis there, That's going to be, hopefully that goes okay. So thanks for mentioning that, and we'll hope to hear you on 6 meters later. Okay, so that takes us to Kurt. KE8ULC. Go ahead, Kurt.
John at W8VPV, this is for you. Several years ago, I replaced the battery in my Yaesu FT450. It's a double tab. I tried Battery Plus over there on off of 18 in West Akron, and they were going to order one for me, so I just ordered it online. If you just go to Google and write 2032 coin battery with solder tabs, there's several different ways those solder tabs are on those batteries. So you'll want to see the picture and make sure you order the correct one. But that's what I did. It's like $5 or so, and they ordered it, and it was sent to me in a couple of days, and I put it in. So back to you, John, at W8PVP. I'll try to get back from taking the dog on a walk for the 6 meter. This was KE8ULC.
Yeah, okay, Kurt. I have to open this one up to see which way the tabs go. I was looking at some articles about it online, and one of them shows the one tab going one way, the other one going the other way. So I have to see which way mine go. But I'm going to measure it. Maybe it's still good. So we'll see. It's supposed to be around 3.3 volts. Thanks for that, Kurt. And yeah, I did see some online, so we'll see how that goes. So thanks for mentioning that, and yeah, I'll be verifying the tabs before I go to order one. Okay, so next is KF8DTA. Go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you for picking up my call. This is KF8DTA. I'm just sitting here playing some FT8 and making my rounds on what nets I can hear on the radio tonight. Just want to say thank you for running the net and picking up my call. KF8DTA, back to control.
Okay, Jeff, very good. Yeah, I'm going to have to get back in practice for doing FT8, making sure everything is working. I haven't used it for a while, and there's the Breeze Shooters 10-meter ground wave contest digital version is coming up pretty soon, so I have to get back in the swing of things there with that. So thanks for mentioning that there, and that reminds me about that. So maybe we'll hear you on 6 meters there, 50.270 megahertz upper sideband at 9:30. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor with John W3X at the mic asking for check-ins. It was a little noisy there. I got KF8 something, and then I heard a Y there. Could you please repeat the call sign?
KF8 FPY Nick.
Oh, okay. KF8 FPY Nick. Okay, go ahead. We'll go one at a time now. Go ahead with your comments. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor.
KF8 FPY. Name is Nick. This is my first licensed amateur radio call. So thank you for the Falls Radio Club for providing this repeater. And I'm brand new to this hobby. And thanks for letting me check in, and we'll look forward to doing this on a regular basis. So back to Control 73 to everyone.
Okay, Nick, very good. Well, congratulations. And do you have 6-meter capability?
Not at the moment.
Okay, yeah, we don't, our net isn't, our 6-meter net, that's the first Monday of a month at 9:30, is not through a repeater, so, okay, very good. Well, thanks for checking in, and congratulations on your first contact there, so very good. KF8FPY, Nick, thanks for checking in, and have a good evening. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins.
KF8 ANO, Jim, Cuyahoga Falls.
KF8 ANO, go ahead, Jim. We'll go one at a time now.
Just checking in, hoping everybody's staying warm, and I'm in and out 73.
Okay, Jim, very good. Thanks for checking in, and have a good evening. And maybe we'll see you at the meeting next week. That's February 11th. So, again, thanks for checking in. Okay, this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-ins. Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, asking for check-in. Sounds like somebody was trying, but didn't make it into the repeater. Okay, nothing heard at this time, so I'll repeat the announcements, and then I'll give one last call for check-ins. Okay, so unfortunately we have another club member is now a silent key. That's Whiskey 8 Alpha Juliet Victor, and so condolences to his family there. And next week, the next regular meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club is on Wednesday, February 11th at the Pilgrim United Church in Cuyahoga Falls, which has a listed address of 130 Broad Boulevard, but you get to the meeting by going to their parking lot, which is on 2nd Street just south of Broad Boulevard, and then enter the meeting, enter the building for the meeting through the door, which is off the corner of the parking lot. Now, there's a new starting time. We're starting at 7 p.m. instead of 7:30. It's 7 p.m. And if you can't attend in person, we will have a Zoom link so that you can be an active participant. We can hear you and you can hear us on Zoom. So to get that link, you go to our webpage, www.cfarc.org, and that main front page there, look toward the right and then go down to February 11th, and there you will see the Zoom link. Again, that's February 11th, 7 p.m. Okay, let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, Vince, a newsletter editor, mentioned it's time for articles again, so send them to newslettereditor@cfarc.org, where newsletter editor is one word. On February 22nd, that's a Sunday, there is a volunteer exam session at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. If you want to attend that volunteer exam session, you have to pre-register. So the way you do that is you go to our webpage, www.cfarc.org. Then up the top, there are some words, and near the center of that area is the word education. You click on that, and that opens up a page that has a button to register for an exam. So click on that, fill out the information, make sure you have your FRN, and you'll be all set for that. Take a look at the when you're registering, take a look so that you can get the correct time so that you're there before the test starts. Again, that's for February 22nd at the Cuyahoga Falls Library. That's all that I have in a way of announcements at this time. So this is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, last call for check-ins. Not hearing any. In preparing to close this net, I would like to thank all of you who took the time to join us and check in tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been John, and my call is W8VPV, and it's been my pleasure to host this evening's net. At this time, I will close the net with 15 check-ins counting myself, and return the repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8, Victor Papa Victor, closing the net at 9:06 p.m. local time. 7-3.
Once again, good job, John, and good seeing you yesterday at the Ham Fest. It was a little nuts, but what can you say?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So, yeah, Greg, WBAYYS, didn't go there. But the roads were totally dry going there, and I also got a geocache there behind that IGA supermarket there on the corner of Route 170 and Creed Avenue. And when I checked in, did the mobile check-in, the young fella that took my check-in, I was telling him that I had found that. I was still on Creed Avenue when I was doing the mobile check-in, and he said he works there, and that he's a geocacher, so he's going to go and try to find that someday. So that was funny. That was a young fellow that was passing out the Texas Roadhouse peanuts.
Yeah, he had that wagon he was dragging around. Very good.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a fun time there, and my two brothers didn't show up, and Marty, I don't know if you know him, A3GI, of course, he's involved with the Bree Shooters Hamfest. Well, he took a picture of himself and me and sent that to my two brothers, because they were debating whether to go or not, and they ended up not going, so that also was fun.
Oh, very good. And yes, I did pick up a copy of the Breeze Shooters flyer, so it's taped up on my calendar right now. Another one to go to this year. All right, good, John. Good talking to you. We'll catch you again on 6 meters here. Assuming my power supply comes up, I tried to turn the switch on earlier, and it started arcing and smoking. I know the surge from the capacitor being empty overloads it. I got to going to have to replace it, and I've got to get a current surge limiter in there somehow. But assuming I get the power supply up, I will see you tonight on 6 meters. So I'll let you go, take a break, and we'll catch you about 9:30. W8ECT back to well, that's it. We'll catch you later, John.
Okay, Frank. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I hope you get that power supply going. Okay, W8ECT, this is W03X. I'll be clear.